My beautiful friends, it's Maya Acosta here with the Healthy Lifestyle Solutions podcast coming to you from my home studio. I have another great guest today, and I'm so excited to introduce you to her. This individual actually is going to be one of the speakers at the Peaceful Planet Foundation's annual retreat that's happening this Saturday, October 7th in Houston. So I've been bringing on guests that are part of this whole conference, and we've been doing these lives. And so I'm excited to introduce you to her because she has been on the podcast before. And this time we're going to talk about the topic that she'll be addressing at the retreat. So, like I say, you're going to join us for this incredible guest, Melissa Furman, a national board certified health and wellness coach, author, and founder of the Second Youth Wellness Method. Melissa's mission is to empower women of all ages on their journey to long-term health through the plant-based lifestyle. With her extensive background in health coaching and plant-based nutrition, she's here to share valuable insights and strategies for managing weight healthfully. This is such an important topic, so I can't wait to talk to Melissa about this. And also, I would love for you to also leave messages or questions and tell us what you think about the topic, and also tell us if you have any questions about living this healthful lifestyle. So let's bring on Melissa. You have such an extensive background. You did the Tulsa VegFest. That's how I met you. You're just incredible. You've done all this training as a coach. You recently written a cookbook, which we'll talk about, and you're going to be one of the speakers this coming Saturday at the Peaceful Planet Foundation's annual retreat. How excited are you about it?
I'm so excited because you know what? I love this retreat. I went last year as a attendee, and it's like so robust. It just covers all aspects of lifestyle medicine, and I'm just so excited to be part of it, delivering a message from the stage this year.
No. Oh my God, this is so exciting. Okay, so the website for everybody who's tuning in is peacefulplanetfoundation.org. Go to that website to learn about this coming Saturday in Houston. Melissa, in the past, I have been able to bring some Dalasites over to Houston for this event.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's the 5th annual event retreat, and I've been going to it. I might have missed the first year, but I've also gone the virtual route during the pandemic when the doctors decided we're going to make this happen no matter what. And so any idea when you will be presenting? I'm pulling up the website.
I believe my time slot is 11:20 or 11:30, so right before lunch.
Right. And you have the main stage. You'll be in the auditorium. And your topic is, I have the notes here, but if you'd like to share it.
Yes, how to manage weight at any age. So this is happening during women's hours. So this is, I mean, of course, gentlemen can join us as well for their loved ones, but it's really targeted for women to help them use diet and lifestyle to lose weight at any age.
I would love for us to first start with your story for people who might have not listened to you on the podcast, or, you know, are learning about you for the first time. Can you tell us about your journey? What inspired you to first go plant-based and then take the route of becoming a coach? Because that's extensive training as well.
It is extensive training, and it's been a long road, but it's been so rewarding, Maya. I became plant-based in 2015. My folks introduced me to Forks Over Knives, and I started to read more. My dad's a scientist, so that's what I do is read and find the literature and the research that supports people's claims. And so I kept reading, and the more I read, the more I was convinced that eating more plants is healthy and helps us live a long life, and a long life well lived. So, gosh, that was in 2015, and I just kept embracing the lifestyle more and more. And from there, I just wanted to share that information and that lifestyle with other folks who could also use diet and lifestyle to improve their health. And that's when I co-founded a nonprofit organization in Oklahoma, where I lived at the time. And then we hosted a VegFest, which is how you and I got connected. And then it just grew from there, Maya. At that first VegFest, we had one vendor who was offering cooking classes, and over 250 people signed up for cooking classes. And that just really told me that so many people people love the information and they want to sign up to have that in their life, but they don't know how. And so that was my mission from that day forward, is to train myself officially so that I can have a platform and help other people use diet and lifestyle so they can improve their health as well. And so that's where my professional journey really started, on the whole food, plant-based and lifestyle training. And so I got certified with plant-based nutrition from the eCornell Colin Campbell Center for Nutrition Studies course, and then the Rouxbe Culinary Academy course for plant-based cooking. And then from there, that just wasn't enough, Maya. I got trained to become a national board certified health coach. So that's where I'm at now.
I know. And I want to add to that, this training that you have includes, I believe, because we were talking about different ways of becoming certified as a coach, you have that training also of not just how to just coaching people in making this change, but you have sort of a lifestyle medicine interest as well. And then one of the things that I think it's important when coaching and working with people, and I would love for you to talk more about it, is helping them to create those reasonable, sustainable goals and a sustainable change. What can you tell us about that?
I love that question, Maya, because that is so powerful, what you just asked. We live in a society and an environment that is geared towards quick fix, and we're overwhelmed, and we have so much on our plates. We're so time starved, and yet we really grapple with using diet and lifestyle to become our healthiest selves so we can live out our purpose on this planet. Mm-hmm. And a health coach is trained to draw out where the client really is starting and what their motivations are. We can be overwhelmed, and we look at the top of that very steep mountain and we wonder, how are we going to get there? How are we going to improve our health? And a health coach helps clients go step by step so that it is not overwhelming. And the key here is so that it's sustainable. So in my past, I have done counting points. I have done paleo diet. I have exercised, crazy things. And while sometimes it may have worked a little bit, it never lasted long, and it was exhausting, and I could go on and on. But the point here is there are many choices out there to become more healthy, and many of them work. Many of them work for a certain amount of time or to a certain degree. And so what I love about the whole food plant-based lifestyle and the lifestyle medicine movement is that it's encompassing the entire lifestyle of a human. And as a coach, I can help people build that where they're comfortable, where they want to go, what they're willing to embrace.
Many people have to come back to the kitchen. We have been in this lifestyle for many, many years of, staying so busy that our next meal comes from the drive-through window, for example, or we go out to eat with our coworkers or our family because we just don't have time to cook at home. So do you start with those basics as well?
The basics are super important because it really is a shift in lifestyle, like we've been talking about. It's a new way of cooking, a new way of eating, a new way of going out to eat, a new way of engaging at parties. And so as a health coach, I help people navigate what those roads look like and how to still be successful and eat healthfully while in those environments. And so you mentioned that, wondered if my focus is weight loss. And then actually I wrote an online curriculum. It's an online course with lessons and coaching included. It's called the Second Youth Wellness Method. It's for midlife women and beyond, and it does focus on healthy weight management and energy. So many times we just find ourselves at the end of the day, whether we're in midlife or not, and we're just exhausted and can't imagine, cooking. And what's really exciting is that when we eat healthful foods that are plant-centric, we find ourselves having more energy, and the weight kind of naturally, you start to lose it naturally, and then you maintain it naturally. And it's really exciting, but it goes beyond energy and weight loss. What's so exciting to me as a health coach is a lot of people come to me for certain diagnoses from their nephrologist or their family practitioner or their themselves. They just want some help because they've been, they're facing pre-diabetes, let's say. What's so exciting is that when I work with a client and we use diet and lifestyle that's plant-centric, they not only address what their diagnosis is or what their concern is, but so many more things happen. They sleep better. Their skin clears up. They have more energy. They're happier. They look forward to a brighter future, and the list goes on.
Yeah. So it's that improving the quality of life so that your world opens up and you can do so much more. I don't know if I've ever shared with you that when I was younger, in my 30s, I was a teacher, and I, busy, burning the candle at both ends. And so I was doing like these B12 injections back then that my doctor prescribed for my energy because it was horrible. And I remember I would go to the school nurse, and she once told me, you have the energy of a 50-year-old. You're like a 50-year-old. And I did suffer with chronic fatigue, and I had adrenal issues and just all sorts of things, Melissa, that started to happen at a young age. And I look back now and I'm reversed because now I'm 53.
Isn't that exciting?
And I feel like I have more energy than I did in my 30s. It is incredible. And you are right in the sense that the main change that I made was my diet. Initially, over the last 7 years, the diet has been the key component. And then now I have the energy to exercise and to do more things, right? And to be more physically active and challenge myself in areas that I never had before. I love too that your focus is in supporting women, and especially the second halves. So I'd love for you to explain that a little bit more, how you came up with the name Second Youth Wellness Method.
Right. Well, I kind of think you just described it. You feel amazing at, your early 50s, that you feel like you're living a second youth and you have your life back and your quality of life is better. And so you just really described the name of my program and of my cookbook is because we're reclaiming our lives. And while it is for anyone, not just women and not just midlife women, my focus and my heart is midlife women, because as a midlife woman myself, I know from experience that we pour into everyone else before ourselves throughout life, whether it be our schooling, our careers, our children, our spouse, our family members. And as we age, we find some roles shifting where we're starting to take care of aging parents or, facing some diagnoses that we didn't ever think we would have. And so that's why my heart is with midlife women. I do coach men as well and young families. So my focus though on the online course is for midlife women, and it's really reclaiming their health after prioritizing others first. Now they're prioritizing themselves, and it's as simple as through their diet and lifestyle.
Absolutely. This is great. And it's a great reminder for us that we have to kind of prioritize ourselves. I mean, I think most women are guilty of that, of putting everyone first. And you know what? So bringing that back to this Peaceful Planet Foundation's annual retreat, I do say that to the doctors, Melissa, to Dr. B and Dr. M, Dr. Chala, that are the co-founders of this nonprofit and also the retreat. I say to them that when I go every year to this retreat, it really is a time to prioritize myself. I take it as no work. I'm not bringing anything else with me. I'm just there to take it all in, to take care of myself. This annual retreat incorporates things like, yoga practices, meditation, breathing exercises. They have breakout rooms throughout the day. And then they have the main stage, and you'll be on that stage speaking about this topic of weight loss.
Yes. And, I love how you just described the retreat, because what the retreat offers is not only an opportunity to prioritize yourself, it gives people practical tools that they can take home and start tonight or that night, right? After the retreat, they can take it home, they can share it with their families, and they can start incorporating what they learned from the retreat that night and just build from there.
Yeah.
Very, very practical information.
Yeah. Absolutely. So tell us a little bit more. I think we've been talking all along, but your topic again, for people that are tuning in for the first time is, first of all, I have Melissa Furman on with me. She's in Houston. She'll be one of the speakers at the Peaceful Planet Foundation's annual retreat, like we've been talking about. Her topic is how to manage weight healthfully. And I love that word. It just softens things a little bit more. At any age, a woman's full circle strategy for long-term health. And we've been sort of talking about the various things that come into play when it comes to supporting women like this. But what can people expect? Say if someone can't make it to your lecture on Saturday, what will you be talking about?
So I've outlined some very practical tips and strategies that folks can take home with them that night, and how to use their diet, how to change what they eat from small steps to big steps. And so they can take those home. And what's really fun is that I get to share one of my favorite case studies of one of my clients who I worked with. And she's, and for privacy reasons, we'll call her Marta. And she's in her early 60s. She's a grandma. She has grown children. And she was diagnosed with a disease that she never thought she would ever face. And she really looked at that and thought, I have so much more life to live. She's only in her early 60s. She has grandchildren she wants to play with. She has family members she wants to travel with, and a husband that she wants to live, long and old and fun times with. Mm-hmm. And so she hired me, and she happens to be Spanish speaking. So her daughter, who's a pediatrician, would join the coaching sessions as well to translate. I know a little Spanish, Maya, but enough just to get into trouble. So, so that was really fun because we would talk about, what to eat. And every week she would shift her foods. And in 6 weeks of working with Marta, I can't wait to share the results with you. It is amazing. And it was really fun to see how at the beginning of our coaching session, Marta was very apprehensive. She didn't know if this would work. She didn't know what to expect. She didn't know if she would like her food, if it would taste good. She didn't know if she'd have to be eating cardboard and tofu the rest of her life, right? And in 6 weeks' time, it shifted. And I could see in our sessions that she was happier and more motivated. And instead of her family members nagging her to, take your blood pressure, take your glucose, take your, eat your smoothie, did you have protein, that kind of thing, the roles shifted. And so she, at the end of our 6 weeks together, she noticed the changes in the list. I can't wait to share the list at the retreat. She was the one influencing her other, her family members. And her family members were starting to embrace what she's eating. And because of that, they too had some health benefits. So as a coach, it was amazing to work with her because my clients' benefits were amazing, but it also went out and influenced her family's health benefits as well.
Yes. Well, that's sort of like what my wish is for every patient who has to create a change is that the family come on board, because at the end of the day, those family members are also at risk of getting sick, of having heart disease, of having type 2 diabetes, if they don't create a change. So by them coming on board, they're supporting their loved ones. So they don't, in this world, we can feel isolated when we make those healthy changes and our loved ones don't want to come on board. And another thing that I love about you saying that she was younger, in her 60s, is that if I want to live longer, I don't just want to exist through my 70s, 80s, and 90s. I want to thrive. I want to have the energy. I want to have the mental clarity to have conversations, to be present, to be involved with the family. So I love that. I can't wait. I'm going to be sitting in when I hear this, your case study in more detail. So
for sure.
That's wonderful. So we've been talking about all of this. You gave us a sneak peek as to your lecture this coming weekend. I was wondering also if you can kind of address, because your focus is on weight management, what are some of those myths or misconceptions that people have about weight that you frequently encounter? I'm sure that you probably have to kind of gently guide people or remind them, you know what, that's not necessarily true. I know that Riz and I were recently speaking about calorie counting. And anyway, but please tell us more about that. What are some of those myths?
Right. Well, let's talk about calorie counting. So that's one of the key points in my lecture is calorie counting. And yes, calories are important, but when we eat a whole food plant-based diet or one that is plant-centric, we tend to eat foods that are more nutrient dense, so they offer more nutritional benefits to our body, but they're lighter in calories. And because of that, we can eat a lot of food. And so when it comes to myths and weight loss, sometimes we think about, oh, we have to portion control. Well, to a degree we do, especially when it comes to not plant-based foods or plant-based foods that are processed. So those tend to be heavier in calories. But when we eat whole food plant-based diet, like a big salad with some tofu cubes on top, or nuts and seeds where they offer some healthy fats and some more of those nutritional benefits like selenium and Brazil nuts is super important for us as we age as women and for thyroid health. So we can eat gobs of food, Maya, where we don't have to count points or calories typically, right? And so one of the issues in going plant-based that a lot of people have is they're used to really limiting what they eat and eating like a bird. But when you shift towards a whole food plant-based diet, you can eat mounds of food and you gain the benefit of all those beautiful nutrients that are represented by all the colors of the rainbow. And you just get more satisfied with tons of food.
Yes. I also feel that in some ways, as you're making this transition, you heal your relationship with food, or at least that's part of the process, is that you make peace with food. We live in a society that demonizes food in general. The problem is the food, that's the way the mentality is, that you're not exercising enough and you're eating too much food. And so there's this mentality that we have to restrict, we have to starve, we have to suffer, we have to deny ourselves. And as I learned too, that the healthier foods, the plant-based foods, are more nutrient dense, lower in calories. That also meant I'm having to eat more. It was just incredible to say, really, I can enjoy more food and all these beautiful, wonderful flavors and not have to feel like stop.
Right.
Whereas in the past, people may fear going through a buffet line. Well, you and I know when we go to these conferences, it's still a buffet line.
Yeah.
But, and also one of the things that I've kind of learned for many years to do is just to stop. I don't like feeling full, like stuffed. So I just stop when I'm satisfied or when I'm no longer hungry. That's kind of how I eat. But I know my husband came from that world of restriction. Because he was heavy into exercising, and what he did when he first made that change is he was still portion controlling. So Melissa, he was still serving himself, like rather than a steak or meat, smaller portions. And when he came on board, he lost so much weight. He was, if I ever show you photos of when he made that change, you would see, wow, you were a little bit underweight.
Yeah.
He learned you can eat more because these are healthier foods.
Right. It's a lifestyle of abundance, but knowing how to do that is really key, because like we mentioned earlier, we live in a diet culture and we're used to that restriction. And so we think that if we don't eat, if we eat a lot of food, we're just going to pack it on again. And that is that relationship with food that is a mindset shift. And that's one of the points that I talk about in my lecture. I start with, what are those mindset shifts that we make? And this is a key point, because a lot of people especially in weight management conversations, they miss the mindset shift. This is a key component that as a health coach, I empower my clients with, is that mindset of abundance, that mindset of prioritizing yourself, that mindset of it's okay to eat, but you have to eat the right foods. And the other mindset shift that a lot of people, especially who are being approached by a whole food plant-based diet, they miss is you do not have to go 100% plant-based right away, especially to get any benefits. If you, I like to use the analogy of a volume dial, like on your radio. And if you turn up the volume to how much plant-centric foods that you're eating, then you're going to gain more benefit. If you have it, the volume turned down, you'll get a little benefit. If you've turned the volume up, you're going to get more benefit typically.
Yes. I mean, and you can even tell us why, but I know that as you begin to add more plant-based foods, you sort of reduce that inflammation that can be contributing to arthritis or diabetes. I mean, there's just simply starting to make that change towards less processed foods, less, meat and dairy foods that are high in saturated fat, for example, dietary cholesterol, all of that.
Yes, the body has an amazing capability of healing. And when we give it the opportunity to function optimally, it responds positively in as little as 2 to 3 weeks. I've had clients get off of multiple medicines within 6 weeks. Within 3 weeks, I've had them half their medicines. And it's all because of the amount that they've embraced eating more plants. Mm-hmm. And this case study, Marta, it's really remarkable, and I'll just kind of give you a sneak peek at the end, but she was able to reduce one of her meds entirely within 6 weeks, which gave her hope that she can continue this lifestyle and continue reducing her medications, which is so freeing, right? It's just a lifestyle of freedom and empowerment. And looking forward, I think you had mentioned earlier about the, aging and having, let's say, the last 10 years of our life, what's that going to be like? And now my client, Marta, can look forward to living, past her 60s and still being healthy and enjoying life.
Yeah, absolutely. You've given her that second chance in life, something that she didn't have the first part of her life.
Second use. Now, she did the work, Maya. I just showed her the way. Yeah. And I was her support system, and I was her encouragement, and I helped show her the tools and how to include that into her own life. So she did the work. That's the key, is you have to do the work.
Did you ever think you would end up doing all of this when your parents introduced you to Forks Over Knives?
I had no idea. I was in my 40s, and I was raising my kids. I was a stay-at-home mom doing freelance work at home. And, I just took it one step at a time. And I know how much it changed my entire family's life. My parents started this lifestyle in their 70s, and their health improved. And it's just been an amazing journey. And I'm thankful that I get to share it with my parents.
Yeah. And now you have, so I want to make sure that we get this out and we share the websites or any links that you want. You have an online course. You do coaching one-on-one, and you also just released a cookbook. Oh my goodness. It's a complete package. I'm probably missing more, but tell us where everyone could learn more, and if they're interested in working with you, how can they do that?
Right. Thank you, Maya. So my website is melissafurman.com, and you can find me there or on social media, Instagram and Facebook at MAF Health Coach. And you can find my cookbook. I have a copy here, Maya, that I'm going to bring you and Riz copies. And you can see, hopefully you can see it. Maya provided a quote. It's right there on the front cover. So this is the cookbook. You can find it on Amazon.com, Second Youth Wellness Method. Second Youth Wellness Cookbook. And so it's really funny because people ask me, how long did it take me to put the cookbook together? And I tell them 8 years. Because I've been plant-based for about 8 years, a little over 8 years. And I feel like this is all my secrets. I feel like this is, if you cook these, I'm probably cooking something out of this cookbook this week. So we're kind of cooking together if you buy this cookbook. These are all my secrets. These are my very favorite recipes that are plant-based. They're easy. They're kind of comfort food. And the key here, Maya, is they're easy and they're quick to make.
Oh,
and
yeah.
there's not any weird ingredients. So if you're new to the plant-based space, this is a great place to start.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited. I know that we saw the digital copy of it. And I mean, it's just amazing. You can never learn enough, especially, I mean, I'm still learning, Melissa. I'm still trying to figure out like the best sauces and dressings
Yeah.
because you learn new ways. And so I can't wait to try out. I might try out one of your recipes and I might share like a photo or something saying this
That
is
would be amazing. That would be amazing. Yes. Oh
yeah.
gosh, I have so many favorites. I wouldn't even know where to tell you to start.
Right. I love to cook, but I'm just like everyone else, Melissa. I had to go back to the kitchen. I stopped eating red meat and pork a long time ago and I started taking cooking classes years ago. I didn't even know how to cook meat. I had to take classes on how to cook meat for my guests
Yeah.
and I wouldn't touch it. I didn't eat the meat. But now I'm starting to now I'm like I want my food to taste delicious so that I can convince people to get on this lifestyle because at the end of the day it's our palate,
Yes.
right? That we need to satisfy and at the same time we're healing our body
Right.
through this.
You know, one of the things I love to share is if you know about your food and how it nourishes you or how it hinders you, that will help you make choices. And you're right, it is so much about the flavors. I have, a vegan chili in here. I have a crockery smoked cheese dip that is absolutely to die for. And you would be convinced it's a
Yeah.
cheese dip and it's not. And I won't even tell you the secret ingredients, but anyhow, it is to die for. And you can use it as a dip or a sandwich spread, but it's all about the flavors.
Yeah.
And when your palate is satisfied, then you'll do this even more and it just snowballs in a good way.
Absolutely. And now are you taking new clients and do you offer like the Zoom virtual option?
Yes, great question. I do coach privately and it is virtual. So, it's around the globe. I can help people. And then I have an online program, Second Youth Wellness Method, like we mentioned, and that is an evergreen program you can start anytime. And we meet weekly for coaching sessions and you have access to the curriculum throughout the life of the program. So forever and ever, you can have access to the materials that will help you stay on track. And then I'm there to help support folks throughout the week through DM and text. So I'm at your service. I want you to succeed. It is my passion to help people reclaim their lives and enjoy it.
Yes. Well, I know you love what you do. I mean, it's so obvious in everything that you do, like the Tulsa VegFest when you were doing that was incredible, well put together. So I have a final question for you here. What's the most rewarding aspect of your work as a health and wellness coach? And what keeps you motivated? I mean, I could tell you're still motivated and very passionate, but what keeps you motivated to continue spreading the message of, the power of a plant-based lifestyle?
That's a great question. I would have to say working with my clients, either in the group course or privately, having those aha moments of watching them as they embrace the food, as they increase their exercise and other lifestyle improvements, and watching the success and what it means to them. It literally brings tears to my eyes when I see that because they are getting their life back. And it not only helps them as individuals, it helps their entire family, right? Those relationships, the connections, it helps their work life. They don't have to miss work as much. They don't feel lousy. The list just goes on. But anyhow, that's the most rewarding to me is to see that life change in my clients.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I think that would bring life to me too, to be able to see that you're actually creating change. My goodness, this is incredible. Many people don't have access to people like yourself, like people that, like you're trained in plant-based nutrition, you understand behavior change, how to support patients, you understand SMART goals and how to get them to set realistic goals. You have your online course to support them, your coaching to guide them through the basics so that this can be a sustainable change that they make. And then probably helping them to prevent additional health problems like heart disease or having a stroke. It's incredible what you're like a true healer in that sense.
Well, thank you, Maya. You know, this is why I love the retreat is it's a team approach, right? So everybody has their specialty. You know, your yoga teachers, the lifestyle medicine doctors, they all bring something to the table that is unique to the lifestyle. And when people have that team approach to healthy living, that's where the real winning really takes off. And so, yes, I am national board certified. I can accept HSA and FSA debit accounts and with a doctor's referral. And so that's a benefit. And that's because I'm national board certified. And so I did go for the gold there to be able to serve my clients even more, right? Because this is kind of a new aspect to lifestyle and to healthy living is a health coach. You know, we're so used to having a financial planner or somebody to help us with our portfolio or a coach at the gym. And so health coaches are a little bit different.
Absolutely. It's an investment. I mean, people, and I don't want to go down that other topic, but many times when it comes to healthcare, we think we're covered by having health insurance. That's it. We have health insurance, our annual exam, we're taken care of. If we're not diagnosed with anything at that time, we're fine. You know, that's the mentality that we have. I'm a strong believer, as you know, in health coaches, life coaches, to guide us the right way, to teach us the things that we don't know, that we can't see for ourselves, that we need help with. And so it is an investment to start with a health coach initially to make this change. And then you get the basics and then boom, you take off. You're on your own. I mean, I didn't have a health coach when I came on board, Melissa, and I had to spend hundreds of hours researching, watching videos, reading the books, I did the eCornell too. It's a lot and many people don't have the time to do all that sort of research, right? So the health coach is the expert that works with you in creating the change.
Right. So. Yeah. It is a lot. And it took me tons of time as well, Maya. And, you know, we help to kind of water it down to give people the information they need in smaller chunks so they can embrace it in their lives quicker, because not everybody has that time or that interest, to be frank, you know, and that's okay. So we just help people shorten the path and make life easier.
Yeah. So I want to invite anyone who's watching, after we hang up, the recording will stay here on Instagram, so people can share this to other people in Instagram. So if you have a loved one, a friend, someone who can benefit from what Melissa is teaching, or if you're in Houston and you want to learn more about this retreat or working with Melissa still, please share this with anyone. I'm going to also add additional links to the recording when we hang up. This has been fun. I'm getting the hang of these lives, Melissa. I'm doing more of these.
You are amazing, Maya. You know, I love your podcast. Your guests are always so interesting, and I just you're just such a champion for healthy living, and I applaud you.
Well, thank you. And you're an inspiration. I can't wait to see you on Saturday, to give you a big hug and to connect with you again in this kind of endeavor of supporting the community the way that the retreat has set it up. It's so wonderful to always meet other people that are like-minded, that are supporting. And of course, I go there to network. I go there to chat, to connect with people in general. I love this retreat. Thank you, Melissa. Do you have any final words, anything else that you'd like to share?
I can't wait to see you. Congratulations on coming to Houston and emceeing the event. The retreat is amazing. If you're just curious about a plant-based lifestyle or healthier living through diet and lifestyle, please come to the retreat. Houston is so fortunate to have Doctors Chawla as part of the community. What they do for healthy living and to help people win in life through diet and lifestyle, it is amazing. So Houston is so lucky to have these two doctors and their clinic right at our doorstep. The retreat is amazing. So I invite anybody who's interested in living healthfully through diet and lifestyle, please come. You will learn so much.
Absolutely. Well, thank you everyone who also joined in. And like I said, I'll continue to share this recording. Melissa, it's been a pleasure. Thank you I know you stay busy as well. Thank you for joining me today. I'll see you on Saturday.
All right. Can't wait to see you. Thanks everyone for joining. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.